We just got the Highguard trailer and release date of this year's Game Awards. I've been watching the trailer a bit more and really thinking about it. Today I'm going to go through every ability and weapon we see on this trailer and kind of speculate their impact on the gameplay. Without wasting time, let's get right into it. Starting immediately at like 19 seconds, we see this double barrel burst rifle. Recoil resets almost instantly between bursts. This was like your mid-range workhorse weapon, rewarding headshot accuracy. A few seconds later, get our first look at an ability, the lightning spear. Looks more like an projectile, not a hit scan. I'm speculating that this is some kind of a stun or an interrupt, something you throw to stop the enemy from casting their own spells. I think that would make the most sense. Then after that, we see a throwing axe that gets pulled back from the enemy. This recoil mechanic seems pretty interesting. Does it actually deal damage on the way back? If so, you could hit an enemy behind cover by curving the return path, which sounds pretty cool. Around the same time, we see the character holding what looks like some kind of a compact SMG. Small, stockless. This kind of suggests we have like a light classes or archetypes that trade durability for higher fire rate and movement speed, which is just speculation because we don't actually know if weapons gonna be locked on characters or if you're gonna be able to pick whatever weapons you want. So we have to see. Then we jump around 40 seconds, see a rocket launcher fire, and the wall actually blows up. This kind of confirms that there's gonna be destructible environments. You can't just hide in a room. Someone with the heavy weapon can literally open a door when there was one before, which definitely is gonna add a little bit more tactical gameplay. We're gonna be able to blow out walls and doors to get to the points. Then around 40 seconds, we see this kind of a Panther pound skill. Looks like a gap closer. In game with guns, melee is always a risky move. So this ability likely has a lock-on or a stun component maybe to make it a bit more viable in this kind of environment. Then around 45 seconds, we get the hammer shockwave. This is also kind of a get-off-me tool. If the Panther character jumps on you, you slam this hammer, reset the fight. It looks like a pretty classic crowd control skill from other hero shooters. Then at 48 seconds, we see shotgun one-shotting from quite a range, which is pretty scary if that's the case. It could be just for the trailer purposes, but it looks like shotguns are gonna have a pretty long range in this game. But if not, you could easily see something like shotguns just dominating the meta of a game. Around 50 seconds, we see a lava attack erupting in a straight line. This looks like some kind of a zoning ability. You put it down to block kind of a hallways or just force enemy teams to move out of position. Pretty common skill in any hero shooter at this point. Around 53 seconds, we see this purple tentacle character. Not much is revealed. It does give me a little bit of like a Valorant Reina vibes, but looks like some kind of void magic, maybe like some kind of debuffing, slowing enemies, reducing their damage output. We have to see how deep they go with this kind of a hero skills and how impactful they're gonna be. But I still wanted to mention this character, even though this video is more about the weapons and the actual skills. Around 1 minute 7 seconds, we see a wooden wall completely disappear. You will be able to transform walls into doors or openings. After that, we see a frozen wall appear. This is very Valorant Sage inspired. We have abilities that create cover and abilities that remove it, which sounds really cool, kind of a dynamic between these characters, especially if you're able to remove the ice wall with the one character. I think that could be very interesting. The map is going to be kind of a constantly changing during the match. In around 110, we see a heavy machine gun. Usually these weapons slow you down quite a bit. This is probably going to be kind of a tank player weapon who's going to be holding the specific angles and stuff, which I'm kind of curious how deep they're going to go with the roles. Are we going to have like kind of a tank DPS support roles? I feel like we're going to have more roles in this game. It's going to be more like a recon DPS characters, maybe like a control. I don't think we're going to have like such a clean cut of tank DPS and healer type thing going on here, but we have to wait and see. Then at like 113, we see the floating throwing knife skills, which is definitely very jet style ultimate from Valorant. You're floating, you're exposed, you have like 100% accuracy on your daggers. It's pretty high risk, high reward. You're going to be getting a lot of kills with this. Probably going to be a fan favorite character. I remember playing Valorant and the amount of people that insta-log jet was insane. So could definitely see that happening. At 125, we spot the basic kind of assault rifle. Nothing fancy. Seems just a reliable mid-range damage weapon. Pretty much your kind of AK, M4 type weapon. At 144, we actually see our first glimpse of like the sniper rifle, and we also see some kind of a scouting hawk. I think the hawk is gonna be kind of an intel tool in a tactical shooter. So you're gonna be scouting the enemies before you actually go in. It's very similar to like what you do with Sova in Valorant and his drone, getting around corners, checking points, especially when you're able to break walls. This hawk is gonna be amazing because I can see so much utility with that. Around 150, we see a nice monster slam. This kind of looks like some kind of transformation ultimate where you get like a huge health boost, effectively becoming some kind of like a raid boss for a few seconds and just being able to slam people. The way it's done in a trailer gives me that vibe, but I'm not sure if this is just going to be a character or I'm hoping it's some kind of transformation because that would be awesome. At 156, we see what the rocket launcher can do, how it can lock 3 targets at once and then shoot, which is going to be the question. Are you going to be actually able to lock 3 different players and then shoot the rockets on them? Because if yeah, that could be kind of OP. I don't know if these weapons are going to be more like power weapons where you're going to have to find them from the map, which is something I would really like. Brings me back to like Quake and Unreal Tournament where you're finding these weapons on the map, especially these like super powerful weapons. Those could be very interesting, like point of interest and just points to fight for instead of just doing the main objective, right? So I would do it. That would be really awesome. Around 2, we see this lightning spear attack again. Looks like some kind of ultimate. Gives you verticality. Most players don't look up, so it's raining death from above. It looks pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of like there was like a lightning weapon in Fortnite, one of the seasons, and you could go and just shoot lightning. It kind of reminds me of that. Really cool ability, I think. Then around 206, we see a massive frontal explosion destroying the whole building. This looks like a massive kind of a preacher ultimate. When your enemy team turtles up inside a building, you just blow the whole building and create door for your team, which I feel like this game is gonna be heavily about. People just kind of holding points and you just coming in with your mount, blowing the building up, and I'm a huge fan of that. That was one of the better things about the finals, was the whole destruction element. Like you have these cash points and you just blow up the whole building, drop the cash thing all the way to the floor and then cap it. But I think that's really cool, kind of a tactical element to the game, and I hope they really rely on that. Then finally around 210 we see the revolver, one of my favorite weapons easily. I'm a huge sucker for like hand cannons and pistols in shooter games. Even on Apex, my favorite weapon was the wingman. Always loved using it. This one is fast firing, Fanty Hammer style. Shows that even with all the magic, I think gun skill is still gonna be kind of the deciding factor in this game. So that's pretty much every single piece of gear and skills we could spot on the video. It really looks like the Highguard is trying to kind of mix the movement of Apex with the ability depth of a hero shooter, which at least for me on paper sounds kind of like amazing. Sounds kind of like a game I would love to play because I love the movement in Apex. I love the gunplay in Apex. I think it's one of the better gunplays we have, and I'm a huge fan of hero shooters. I played Overwatch for thousands of hours. I've been playing hundreds of hours of Marvel Rivals. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of that game, I do kind of prefer the first person. So this game being first person, huge plus for me. But yeah, which ability kind of caught the eye? To me, the favorite one was the revolver. I can't like try to use it. Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, you want to see more Highguard content, hit a like, subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.